right, everyone, and welcome to an all-new episode of the 2 Minute Drive podcast. I'm Trevino, alongside with my buddies, Robert Palace. How's it going?
What's up? What's up?
And with Jake Ramirez. What's going on, fellas?
Nothing,
Uh,
Abe.
an interesting wild card weekend. I
Mhm.
know, Robert, you're hosting this week, so I don't want to interfere with your topics, but some good stuff. We're going to get into it right now. So go ahead and hit us off with your whatever's on the docket.
Yes, sir. So a little bit of a recap of Wild Card Weekend. I don't know about you guys, but I was kind of like underwhelmed by this weekend. There was kind of really only one good game in my eyes, which was the Commanders and the Buccaneers, which was a close one to the end. Everything else was kind of like a squash. I
Yeah.
was expecting, with the way this season's been going, I thought there'd be a couple of more thrillers. But I don't know. I want to get you guys' thoughts overall on the weekend. What y'all thought?
Let me go first here. Robert, I want to talk a little bit, just a tad, about this Minnesota Vikings game and the Rams.
Mhm.
Now, do you feel? I mean, of course, I mean I was gonna ask something stupid, but I'm just gonna say it. But I mean, the whole thing that's going on in California with the fire and stuff like that. I mean, I know that the Rams are gonna play with heart and with support and all that, but Minnesota, I mean, the last game, they win, they get the division, right? They get the bye. They only scored 9 points that game against the Lions, right? And
Yeah.
then looking at that Rams game, Robert, it kind of reminded me of that game that they played in the regular season, no?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where the Rams just got the two receivers back and just were dominating. That defense is a no-name defense, and that defense looked like Aaron Donald was still on the damn team.
Right.
And I was looking at Sam Darnold. He got rattled. He was getting rattled, and with the fumble, I mean, this defense was just coming at him. He couldn't get anything going. And with all these weapons that they had Hawkinson, they had the two receivers, they had even that third receiver, Naylor, and then with Aaron Jones, and it just nothing. Um, I want to get your thoughts on it because I watched the whole game and I just was like, okay, it's like what was it? I think like 17 or like 24-3. And I said, shit, man, like that's going to be hard deficit to come back from. But I still had hope because they have the receivers and Darnold's just been playing lights out. So, was it just all around McVay, the better coach? The play calling was better. I mean, it's crazy because not Aaron Glenn. I'm sorry, the defense for Minnesota with what's his name,
Brian
Flores.
Flores.
Yeah, and it just I don't know. I mean, what were your thoughts? I mean, I know you were working, but did you at least did you see the highlights? I mean, I'm just I'm more on this game because I'm more pissed because I was expecting more from Minnesota.
Got you. So a couple of things. So there's a lot of factors. You bring up the McVay factor. He's the teacher. O'Connell's like the student, right? So kind of has an edge over him in that aspect. Kind of like the whole I've taught you everything that I know, but not everything that I know kind of thing. So McVay probably had a couple of more tricks up his sleeve. And then of course you have like the whole thing with the fires and everything. So LA, they're gonna play a little harder with more emotion. I mean, I saw a couple of those hits, including the one on Darnold that they missed, where like the defense was flying around and that one guy like kind of like jumps all over him, and the ref doesn't even call like for roughing the passer and all that stuff. You factor that in, and you factor also the what is it called, like bulletin board material, right? Now, do you remember what Dan Campbell said to Kevin O'Connell once their game ended on Sunday night for the division? He said, "Hey, I'll see you in 2 weeks." I guarantee you the Rams saw that, and the McVay showed that to the whole team. Was like, you know what? Fuck that. They're already thinking that they're gonna just advance on to face the Lions in the divisional round. Well, here we're gonna show you what's up. And then also, there's just some teams that just have another team's number. For years, like the Patriots had, I don't know how many straight wins over the Bills. And I know they're not divisional rivals, but there's just sometimes where a team has somebody else's number. And for the Vikings, unfortunately, it was the Lions and the Vikings 2-0 for both of them over the Vikings. So that I think that was a lot to do with it. But it's not an indictment on Minnesota. I'm not so much disappointed because they really did overachieve. Um, I said they were my surprise team of the season, but I never even imagined that they would get to 14 wins in the whole season. So, yeah, just a lot of factors. Bad day, and I know this is going to drop Sam Darnold's rock market a little bit just because we're all in the media plays recency bias. But you got to look at the improvement that was made through the entire season for him. I mean, he had a career year. We can't take that away from him.
Yeah, I kind of felt like, I mean, I said this earlier in the season. I kind of felt like the Minnesota Vikings didn't really, I mean, they have nothing really much to lose for because nobody really expected this outcome from them. Um, I know, I think I heard that Darnold's stock kind of dropped to maybe like 50 million a year now, if that.
Well, that's actually pretty
Um,
good. If it
and
dropped way
and
below that.
yeah, it dropped. They're saying he could get like around the number of like 50 million. But I'm also hearing like franchise tag because they have that available.
Mhm.
But they're also saying they've got and I don't know, are you the one covering the Vikings on our free agent stuff or
Yes.
okay, well I don't want to
Yeah, we'll get to that.
yeah, I don't want to get too much, but I just want to get your aspect real quick on this one because there's it's a quarterback heavy on that team on that roster. So I'm not you don't need to answer it right now. You can answer it when we get to that, but I want you to kind of like soak in it and I want to know like what do they do? Like do they tag Darnold?
All
They
right.
let
I have the perfect option or solution for it, which I'll get into my plan. Anything else on wild card weekend before we jump to Jake's? You got
yeah,
any thoughts?
I also want to do a rant that fucking Baker fucked it up by fumbling because he kind of costed the game.
Yeah.
What the fuck, man? Like the and this and I've been talking to and I'm not mad. I'm more upset because I was expecting the Bucks to come out of this, man. Like they just and again, not to take the Commanders out of this because the Commanders have been they've been fighting all season long and they're a different team, but that's because they don't have tape on Jaden Daniels or is Dan Quinn that good? But Baker fumbling, doing that dumbass play that he did, and I just was like, man, that kind of fucked up the game right there. That cost him the game, and it sure did. So major, I mean, still kudos to them because they were down, but and Baker is always ready to put up a fight. So I mean, he didn't give up, and I mean, and he knew he fucked up. So you could see it on the sidelines. But that game too, that one I was just more like everything else could have happened as long as the Bucks won, and that would have been great. That would have been a good weekend for me. But the fact that everybody got smashed that I picked, and then for the Bucks to just get knocked out, because to be honest with you, I really feel like this was the Bucks are the one team that probably could rattle Mahomes if Mahomes makes it to that. But now I gotta, we'll see now.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that said, though, guys, I think the Rams deserve a little more credit too. I think Stafford was the old Stafford, was doing really good. You know, Cup
Nobody,
and
nobody, nobody has
Baker.
discredited the Rams. Robert, if
No,
anything,
but
Robert's given praise more throughout the season.
I know, but we're just talking about how bad Minnesota did when you know they were doing good all year, and then all of a sudden they get smashed by the Lions before the playoffs start, and then the
But
playoffs
that's what's
happen,
great
and
about
then
the
you
NFL,
repeat
Jake, is because it's any given Sunday. Like that statement is really true. Like you can be good all season, but all it takes is one game and your season's over. It's not like basketball where you got to play 7 games and yeah, eventually the best team's gonna win. No, here that's why NFL is king and will always be king is because anybody has a chance.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying, as a Viking, like for Vikings fans, I think they should feel disappointed. Sure, did Darnold do really good
Should
this
they?
year? Yeah.
Because they really did
Uh,
overachieve. Did
No,
you
no, no.
have the Vikings being this good?
None of us
I
did.
did,
But that's
I
not my
didn't.
point. My point is that sure, like next year, everybody's like, it's always next year. Next year, they're gonna look better next year. But if they had an opportunity to make it farther right now, with how hot they were going in towards the end of the season, is all I'm saying. Like, you got to strike while the kettle's hot.
Winning in the NFL is hard, folks. Like it is hard, especially once you get into the playoffs and trying to get to that next round. Like for all you idiots out there that think it's just like easy, like, oh yeah, well they'll get to the divisional round. Like no, like you're gonna have to fucking earn it. Brady made it look like it was fucking the easiest thing in the world, but it's not. So, props to the Rams. They did their job. They're moving on, but I'm not taking anything away. Like all of a sudden Minnesota's like a trash team. Like get out of here. Like they had a great season, and it just
I
wasn't
wouldn't
their
say they're
day.
trash. Just
Yeah, but
disappointed.
to be like, oh yeah, now they're nothing now. Like get out of here. Like they had a
No, yeah,
great season.
I didn't say that. I'm not saying that. If other people are saying that, then that's foolish for sure.
But to the Bucks, back to the Bucks real quick. Just because Jake says I don't, I'm so homer and I don't get on them. I told you the Achilles heel for the Buccaneers, and yeah, the Baker fumble was a huge deal. But what was another thing that just Washington had over the Bucks was time of possession. The defense could not stop them for shit. You'd have them make huge marks on first down, and they'd have like short ones, like 2nd and 3. So they were able to do whatever they wanted and move the ball down the field. So unfortunately, the Bucks didn't get many possessions of the ball as they wanted. So that hurt them a lot. But yes, that fumble by Baker was a huge one. But that's not the story of that whole game. It's that defense, which hopefully Abe will address for the topic that I got coming up. But the one of the big stories is just the Bucks defense was just such a letdown, and I knew they were going to be like it was going to have to be the Bucks scoring a lot, but they didn't get that many possessions. So props to the Commanders and horrible on that Bucks defense, just atrocious all around. Anything else, Jake, from Wild Card Weekend before we start moving into the segments here?
No, I think I think we're good.
All right, so we recapped Wild Card Weekend, and we're still sticking with Wild Card, but I want to talk about the losing teams. And I've assigned my co-hosts here teams and what they need to fix in the offseason to just be competitive again in the next 2025 season. So we're going to start with Jake, and I tasked him with the Los Angeles Chargers, who lost to the Houston Texans, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who lost to the Baltimore Ravens. So, Jake, I'm going to hand it off to you and tell me what the Chargers and then what the Steelers need to do to fix for their next upcoming season, or what you think in your eyes.
So the Chargers, I mean, everybody, you guys, Harborough, we talked about Herbert all season. For them to come out and play, how bad they did by only scoring 12 points to the Texans 32. None of us were expecting this. Like, this was just a smash. And, shout out to McConkey for trying to hold it down. 9 receptions, 197 yards, 1 touchdown. Their run game was irrelevant. Dobbins, 26 yards, Edwards, 22. Yeah. I mean, Herbert, 242, 14 for 32, but his 4 interceptions, guys, I couldn't stress this enough when I was putting it in our chat. You throw 3, I think it was the regular season or last year, and then you throw 4 in one game. Like, that's just like.
So, this is the one game I didn't get to see highlights on. Were they any of these like bounces, or were they straight interceptions, tips, or anything like that?
Were any of them tips, Abe? Do you recall?
On what? On the Chargers?
The Chargers.
There was like one that was tipped.
Yeah, I think most of them were straight just to the fucking defense.
Yeah, there was one where Herbert, he just launched it, man, and there was like 2 people on him. It wasn't McConkley, it was the other receiver, I think Palmer, and one of the Texans got it. It went straight to him.
So, Jake, are you getting that they need more offensive firepower?
Well, definitely. I mean, Herbert, we all know he's talented, so we're not going to back off of Herbert right away. We're not going to say get rid of Herbert. That's idiotic to say that. So we'll just leave that at that. But running backs, I mentioned yards. If you have less than 30 yards in the playoffs from your running backs, you're not going to win. It's garbage. They could look at maybe doing something with the running backs. I'm not saying those guys are trash, but I don't know. Offensive play calling, I wrote down offensive coordinator. I don't know who's calling the plays, Abe, but the Chargers look just terrible on the offensive side.
But it's also because they don't have the weapons. You got to acknowledge that Herbert doesn't have like a true number one.
McConkey.
Well, yeah, but he's also a rookie. You couldn't expect a lot out of a rookie.
Yeah, that's why I said he did his part with 197 yards. I mean, he got his.
Right. So like again, you're talking about the offensive play calling, but you need also the weapons to execute your plans.
Yeah,
If you have a plan but you don't have the players to execute it, not going to really do much. So
yeah,
is that figuring into your plan or no?
yeah, yeah. Because I had wrote another wide receiver to help out McConkey. That was something else that I put.
Yeah.
Um, Possibly since their defense couldn't stop Stroud and the Texans offense, possibly draft some defense players, maybe O line to help out Herbert from getting
Okay.
so much pressure on him. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. What about the Steelers?
On the Steelers end, let's see here.
I mean, do you give Tomlin another season or what's up?
Uh,
Or are you
that,
like the Cowboys? They just make the playoffs. That's good enough.
no, that's what we were talking about off air, and we've been talking about a lot. Tomlin, I mean, everybody, I've seen it everywhere on X and Facebook. Like, what do we do with Tomlin? Do they sign him up for a new contract? Does he stay as the Pittsburgh coach? That's something I wrote down. Like, is he out? Question mark.
There was
What do you
something
guys think?
put out by him saying like for any other teams like planning to like interview him or whatever, he said that they should save their breath, whatever that means. Meaning
I didn't see
he's
that.
probably gonna stick around.
Yeah.
Which
I
I
hadn't
mean,
seen it.
okay, because at least you have stability. But I mean, if you want to get to that next level, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, they scored 14 on Ravens 28. Um, Russell 20 for 29, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not totally bad. Um, but even,
Okay,
Pickens,
are you bringing him back next season, or are you upgrading? What are you doing?
yeah, that's, well, I put down, quarterback changes, uh, question mark. Russell, do we allow him to come back, re-sign him to a new contract, Abe, or Justin Fields take over now? I feel like Justin Fields should just be starting and they should see what happens. What do you think, Abe?
I think they're going to stick with Russell. They might use Fields, maybe like trade bait or something like that in the draft.
You don't think about maybe Aaron Rodgers or Sam Darnold? Like, are you thinking anything like that, or
You
no?
asking me or Abe?
Who? This is your team, Jake. This is your research to do.
Like I said, I put out there. I think the Justin Fields that we saw, he was starting to do something. Then they went with Russell and they changed the formula. So I think that
So,
Justin.
but
Go
they
ahead.
weren't putting up as many points as Russell did. So you're telling me going back to Justin Fields, even though they were getting the W's, but when you start
Yeah,
playing
but
the playoff teams, is that going to be enough to get you over the hump?
yeah, but
I think if he gets enough
how
in
many
the regular season, he needs to
how many
get
points
regular
how many
season.
points is Fields going to get you though? How long can that method work where it's just Fields trying to do some runs and stuff like that? I think they would figure him out eventually.
Fields can't
Um,
stretch the field the way Wilson does.
yeah,
So I'll
yeah,
give Wilson
Wilson.
the edge there.
Yeah, I think they'll trade Fields. And I
Get some
don't.
draft capital.
I think they get some draft. You probably get maybe like a fourth or fifth rounder. He played good, so you might get a fourth rounder.
Because
Um,
remember, like these guys aren't signed; they're signed for basically nothing. So
right. Yeah, so he'll get something, but he's not gonna. I think maybe look for Tennessee and maybe these lower end teams, maybe to get Fields. But I mean, will he be a starter? I don't think so. Maybe for the first couple of weeks, and then maybe he'll just mess up.
Another thing, real quick, too. I had Harris down. He had 6 carries, 17 yards. I keep stressing this. Like the teams that are going to advance to the NFC and AFC championships, they're going to have their running backs have yards. Like
Nothing wrong
Derrick
with
Henry.
Najee Harris. Nothing
yeah,
wrong
I
with
don't think
No,
there's
no,
anything
no.
wrong
I
with
know.
him.
Yeah, nothing's
nothing
wrong with
wrong.
Najee Harris, but in the
Nothing wrong
playoffs, you
with,
can't have
with
17
Gerard. Nothing
yards.
wrong with Warren either. He's a good complimentary back. So it's not more. It's not them. It's more maybe they need an offensive line. They need another
Yeah.
left tackle. They had some issues there all season. Maybe like another right tackle as well. So with Najee Harris, nothing. I'm not worried about him.
No, yeah, he's a stud, but what I'm trying to say is you can't have that kind of yards in the playoffs, man. Like you have to step it up in running game. Like Derrick Henry and Lamar, you already know they're gonna go for it,
Yeah,
man.
but
Well, yeah, but
but
those
if
are
you're
outliers too.
but if you're playing from behind, you're gonna get away from that run game. You're gonna go more to passing, in which they were in this game because Baltimore was just coming out at them.
Yeah.
All right, you good, Jake?
Yeah.
All right, Abe. I don't know why I mentioned the Bucks. I'm actually tasked with the
I
Bucks.
was like, man, wait, yeah, I
Yeah.
wanted the Bucks.
Nah, it's okay. That's my team. Abraham, I tasked you with the Denver Broncos, who lost to the Buffalo Bills, and I tasked you with the Green Bay Packers, who lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. What is your plan for the Broncos for next season?
So the Broncos, they were third in the AFC West with a 10-7 record. They have 19 free agents heading into the 2025 season.
Oof.
Notable ones are DJ Jones, defensive tackle, Javonte Williams, a running back, Zach Wilson, the quarterback, and Tremont Smith, who is a special team stud on that team. He's also a cornerback. I think they're good with Bo Nix. We saw him all season prove. I do think they need to sign Williams. They need a running back. I think maybe go and get you somebody in the draft. Zach Wilson might be able to come back, have him as your backup. You can use
You never
him.
know.
They do need help at the cornerback to help out Surtain, so I'm looking at maybe DJ Reed from the Jets. He's going to be a notable free agent. Possible Chris Godwin because you need somebody to go alongside with. I know Mims came out and broke out in the season, but I think you need that other receiver. I think their defense also needs to vamp up a little bit more. And like I said, it's just more in the cornerback area because I think Surtain, because that front four is not bad at all. But I think they need to have more coverage. So I think another cornerback on the other side of Surtain will help out, which is why I said DJ Reed to help out on that one. But I mean, Sean Payton, he's a great coach. So I mean, you're not going to replace him. I just think it was more of offensive line help as well for Denver, and I think he needs that other receiver that can take away from Mims or Cortland Sutton. Because I mean, I mean, Sutton's your one, but I kind of see him more as a two. So I mean, if you slide in Chris Godwin, I think Godwin could be your one, and then you can have Cortland Sutton as your two, and then Mims as your flex. And then like I said, a running back. So I know Jamal. Oh, not sorry. I'm sorry. AJ Dillon's going to be a free agent as well, who is on the Packers. So I mean, maybe you get him. I don't think he's your true one, but he can probably help out with Javonte Williams. So
Yeah. I would say probably running back just to complement Bo Nix because now you're going to have a full season on him, right? Teams are going to be able to maybe figure him out a
yeah.
little bit. So he's not going to be a surprise anymore. And we've seen like every quarterback has at least had a little bit of a sophomore slump. So I think getting a good running back for Bo Nix will help him out
Well,
just to alleviate some of the pressure.
not only that, but Bo Nix was your highest rusher on that game against the Bills, 4 carries for 43 yards, and
That's not good.
Williams, yeah. So yeah, he definitely needs some help on the running back side.
Jake, any thoughts on that?
Now, like Gabe touched on, I mean, Denver looking pretty good. I mean,
Don't look up, look at me.
Knicks ain't going anywhere. Sean Payne again. He's not in coaching troubles or anything like that. Yeah, they're gonna look good. I don't have the way they started playing towards the mid to the end season. Like, I mean, the record speaks for itself. They're a good team.
Okay. All right, Abe. What about the Packers? Them, I'm a little bit disappointed in, just because.
I was. Yeah. Packers were third in the NFC North with 11-6 record, getting bounced with 22-10. They've got 18 free agents in 2025. Notable is Josh Myers, their center, Eric Stokes, the cornerback, Aaron Mosby, a stud edge rusher, and then AJ Dillon, like I mentioned earlier, with the running back. So here, I think you need a veteran receiver to kind of help that receiving core. I like to see Devontae Adams slide back into that role. Possibly maybe T. Higgins as well to kind of help out.
Could they afford both?
Well, not get both, but one or the other.
Yeah.
So maybe T. Higgins or Devontae, one of them two would really help out with that young receiving core. And they got some good receivers, but they just got banged up.
Yeah.
They need some cornerback help as well for Zaire Alexander. I'm thinking more edge rusher with Hassan Reddick being a free agent from the Jets. So kind of maybe add him onto that front four, have him come off the edge. That'll help out bolster that defense. defense wasn't bad, but to add somebody else wouldn't be bad
For
for a
sure.
complimentary. And then maybe look to bring back Josh Myers because you need that center, and he played all games. Josh Jacobs is a stud, man.
Yeah.
That was great. So I think maybe kind of sign AJ Dillon or maybe look into the draft to kind of get a younger running back to kind of complement him as maybe a third down back or something like that, or kind of split the carries.
I like that. I know your teams are a little bit harder because they're younger, so there is a lot of tweaking there. But yeah, for Packers, yeah, Josh Jacobs has got to be a more centerpiece because that he's just like the stone of that offense, man. He's a one of
Yeah,
those backs that's hard to take down. So, and then I mean Jordan Love, I don't know if it was a confidence thing or I don't know, maybe he got full of himself a little bit. You know, he got that contract and
How many picks did he
possibly.
have in?
He had three.
needs to come back down
He
to
had
earth.
Yeah,
Jesus. I thought it
yeah,
was
yeah,
one or two.
yeah.
Wow.
No, he had three.
He needs to
That's
go back and
another.
watch his game against the Cowboys just to get that feeling again. Like
Yeah,
where was that guy? That guy reminded me of like an Aaron Rodgers, you know, a Brett Favre kind of thing. Um, but yeah, no, good stuff there with the Packers and the Broncos. Anything else you want to add to that, or Jake? Do you have anything to add on that? Of
No.
course.
But
All right.
there's not much to add. What?
Is there? Huh? There's always something. You can always add something. All right. Let's. Sorry, I'm getting fired up. So I tasked myself with my team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who lost to the Washington Commanders, and the Minnesota Vikings, who lost to the Los Angeles Rams, as we touched upon earlier in the topic. So let's start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Um, I think we've gone as far as we're going to go with head coach Todd Bowles. Love him. His staple has been the defense. Helped bring another championship with Tom Brady and Bruce Arians. That defense just went massive on Mahomes. That might have been his peak. And he's probably good as a coordinator, as a defensive coordinator. As head coach, although I'm going to credit a lot of the success this season to Liam Cohen, the offensive coordinator for the Bucs, who just transformed that offense. Like it was just high powered and basically the nucleus. So if I'm the general manager Jason liked, I'm either asking Todd Bowles to take like a office position, not fire him because I think he could still bring insight into that organization. But I think they need to promote from within and promote Liam Cohen to the head coach because you want to retain him at all costs because you're going to get offers for him to be the head coach somewhere. I think he's interviewing with Jacksonville this week as we speak. He's going to be a hot commodity. He's the next Ben Johnson as far as like creative OC, just play calling is just off the charts. You saw the stuff the Bucs were doing, just kind of out of the ordinary stuff, like just dialing up all these different plays, stuff that the defense just was wowed by. So that's the first thing I'm doing is I'm absolutely just keeping the nucleus and upgrading the head coach. So that's number one. And then obviously the second thing was I think your offense is solid. It's stacked. I don't know if you're going to keep Godwin, but it's okay because you had McMillan really show
oh
up.
yeah.
He's a rookie.
Mm-hmm.
You could always pick up somebody in the draft. And the Bucs are really good at developing their players. Obviously, you got your nucleus of Bucky Irving, Rashad White, and Sean Tucker. You continue building on that. I think we're okay with the offense. Could we use maybe another?
Sorry, Robert, but the Bucks' chances of going to the playoffs again are pretty much slim to none.
What are you talking about?
Wait, but how do you
How do you
know that
how
though?
do you?
How do you?
No, wait a minute, Jake. Explain yourself.
It's partially me joking, but at the same time, I mean, they get that far, everything looked good for them, and then Baker just makes us, a
But we
doofu
already said it
engagement.
wasn't just that. There was other factors. Did you not listen to my rant, or you were just looking up at the fucking TV,
No, the
watching a game, and not
defense.
paying attention to the show?
Are you talking about the defense? I'm listening. I've been listening.
Oh, well,
I've been
then
listening.
did you listen to what I said? One of the biggest things in that game was the defense couldn't
I
stop
know you
anybody
keep
for
saying
anything.
okay, but Baker messed up. Baker isn't the defense.
Right, but that was one play, Jake. One play doesn't decide everything.
What?
Did you watch the game?
In the playoffs, one play can decide everything. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying.
that wasn't the whole story of the game. The Commanders were just dominating time of possession.
You take away that play, they win, man. It's that
Not
simple.
really.
They watched it.
Wait,
They watched
wait,
it.
but wait, but I want to know how they not make it. How do you know they're not going to make the playoffs next year?
Because sometimes when they don't even.
Oh, but he thinks the Cowboys are going to come back and just be something when they have a fucking way worse roster than the Bucks. Yeah,
No, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't.
What?
I'm just saying.
What?
No, they don't. But that's a
You're
whole
telling
other
me the
discussion.
Cowboys have a better roster right now than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
They don't have a good running back. That's about it. We don't have a good running back.
Who?
We have receivers that are really good.
I'll take Mike
depending on what
Evans over
happens with the
CeeDee Lamb
back
any day.
situation. I don't think. Nah, fuck that. Not where he's going. Not where he's heading.
Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. What is CD?
No,
He ain't a
but
Hall
I'm
of
saying
Famer.
CD will be a Hall of Famer.
We don't know that. We don't know that.
Where do you
We
have,
know
where do
Mike
you have,
Evans is going to be a Hall of Famer.
Where do you have Mike
Yeah,
Evans at on
that.
your
He's one of my
receivers,
favorite
Jake? Where is Mike Evans ranked on your receiving list?
He's top 3. I would say like 2. And then
So
CD's
he's
1.
better than CD. Wait, CD's 1?
3's Justin Jefferson.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
You're
at least those top 3.
Man, I wish
you're
we
a
had
definition of a homer.
I wish we had a hotline so that way
I know.
people
I
could
know.
just
I know.
dial
He's
in.
trying to rattle me. He's trying to rattle me, and it's working because he's firing me up. But he has no way of knowing that the Bucks are just going to be bad now.
But you can take the criticism, is what I'm trying to say. You don't have to get so defensive, like how I get with the Cowboys. You're getting super defensive.
No,
yeah, because you're not being logical. That's why you're just saying you're talking out of your ass.
Because
I'm trying to figure out how.
When teams are somewhat mediocre, hold on. I'm gonna look, Robert. The Bucks, they're not a fucking Lions. They're not the Chiefs. You're trying to put them like they're on that pedestal.
Their
sorry,
offense
man,
is. Their offense
sorry, they're not.
Their offense is not their defense.
They wouldn't made it past the first round of the playoffs, Robert.
Look at the numbers. You're a stats guy. Look at the numbers.
Sorry.
Look at the numbers.
It doesn't matter. They got bounced first round. It doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
If they were that elite, if you're going to put them on the pedestal level of a fucking Chiefs or Lions,
then
they would make it, Robert, farther.
Offensively, yes.
For folks listening, y'all know that the fucking Bucks are not the Chiefs or Lions, man. Like, straight up. They're biased or not. I'm not going to say the Cowboys are on that level. They're fucking nowhere near that.
Oh, you would say that if they were in the playoffs, though, you fucking homer.
If they got past the first round, maybe, but...
Oh, get out of here. Jeez, man. You're just unbelievable.
I'm just saying, don't have your hopes up so much for next year that the Bucks are going to make it again.
I should have my hopes up because their offense was awesome. They just got to fix some other things, and they would have been in the divisional round. If they had a great defense, they'd be in the divisional round.
Okay, yeah,
but I put their offense up there with anybody's. Buffalo's, Baltimore's, Kansas City, Detroit. It's up there. Look at the fucking numbers, Jake. You can't deny that. What do you mean now?
Go ahead, Abe.
What do you mean now? No, don't go ahead, Abe. Now don't go ahead, Abe.
Because if you really think that
who beat the Lions and the Eagles this season? Huh? Who beat them?
Go ahead.
Who beat them? Who beat them, Jake?
But the Bucks.
No, Abe. I want him to answer. Who beat them?
No. I don't care.
Who beat them?
They got bounced.
Yeah, I
in the
got
first
you.
round.
Shut the fuck up. Go ahead, Abe.
No, it doesn't matter. Go ahead.
It does matter.
You're getting all defense mode because your Bucks got rocked.
No, because you're talking illogically. That's why.
I haven't even called him out, man. Like I'm not even talking.
Well, then call him out then. What do
you
have to call him out for that we haven't already acknowledged?
That they choked and Baker fucking fumbled.
What do you mean choke? You don't know what choke is, Jake. Choke is what the Cowboys did against the Packers last season. That's choking.
Had a chance to win
the Bucks lost by 3 points. The Bucks lost by 3 points. That's not choking.
Robert, you can say whatever you want, man. Oh well, Baker fucked up.
What do you mean? Oh well, no, it is what it is. They lost by 3. That's not a choke.
It is what it is.
Football's a game of inches, except for the Cowboys when they get blown out.
Newsflash: the Bucks are back at home where the Cowboys have been.
Yeah,
so
but the Bucks get blown out. Did they get blown out?
The Cowboys.
If you're gonna come at me right. You're gonna say the things right.
You can't say shit about the Cowboys because we have a fucking quarterback the whole fucking season.
Argument. Please. Dak was getting destroyed when he was playing. He sucked then when you all
4 games, 5 games in. Stop it. 17 games, man.
And what are you gonna say next season when he's playing and they go fucking 3-12?
We don't know who.
Nah, you're not gonna say anything then. You'll make excuses then because you always make excuses for Dak. Always.
Hey, real quick, let's get back on subject here, guys. Abe, thoughts on Bucks and how Baker fucked up
I
since you
mean,
watched it too.
like Robert, I mean, it's pretty much the defense because I was looking at the Commanders. The Commanders were just making plays. Like the Bucks had them stopped. They had them almost stopped like on third. It was like 3rd and 5 or something like that. And then here goes the Commanders. They get a first down.
Yeah.
It's just more of the defense, and they got gassed out quick because these guys there's not an elite person on there. I mean, Vita Vea can't do it all by himself. I know Levante David's on there, but he's up in age as well.
Yeah.
So they need a lot of help. I'd like to see,
They need
maybe
some corners. They need their secondary was just a I didn't even get to finish what I
yeah.
was talking because Jake fucking decided to be
I was just blown
No,
away by
because
him
I
saying
mean,
that
you just
because I
put the
just
Bucks
was
on
like,
pedestal. Oh,
No, you
they
just
took
decided to
Kansas
be
City.
stupid.
Hold on. They took Kansas City fucking to overtime in the regular season. Who's the team that did that?
yeah,
Okay, you do so good, and then you get fucking rocked first round against the Commanders, who are a fucking decent, pretty good team.
You're just saying that because you don't like the
All right.
Commanders, but hey, the Commanders are actually good. FY, it doesn't matter. You know what? It doesn't even matter
I'm
because
not
next
putting the
season
focus on the Commanders. I'm
It's
putting
the
the
Eagles
focus
and the
on the
Commanders
Bucks,
that'll be
brother.
good. Cowboys will be third at best.
I'm putting the focus on the Bucks. That you say all this stuff that they did so good against the Chiefs and they beat the
They
Lions or whatever
did.
the fuck, and then they get rocked against the fucking Commanders
You don't
first
even
round.
know what you don't even know the words that you're saying, man. You're saying them in the wrong context. They just lost. It wasn't like they got fucking blown out or anything. Rock
I didn't
smash.
say
You don't
smash.
even
I
no
didn't
the
say.
fucking
I didn't say.
the fucking Broncos got smashed. You could say that. You could say that even for the Packers, maybe the Vikings, but you can't say that about the Bucks.
No, you can say that about the Vikings. Yes, that they got smashed.
Yeah, but you can't say that about the Bucks. It's not the same
I
thing,
didn't
Jake.
say that.
That game
I
came down
didn't
to
say
the
that.
end.
I didn't
So
say
that's
that
not
they
so
got
that's not a choke the way you say it. Like that's
Baker
wrong.
did. I didn't
That's
say
not
the
a
whole
choke, it's
team
just a
did.
mistake. There's a difference between choking and making a mistake.
You
Dak
can't. You,
choking against the Packers, that's choking. Baker made
no,
a mistake. That's not choking.
that's just the
Know the
Packers playing really
difference.
good that game.
Know the
The
difference.
Packers came out that game. That's not it. There's not a.
Know the
That's not a good.
difference.
It's not a good comparison. But
It is a good comparison because it makes sense. Just because your little brain can't comprehend it, it's okay.
whatever. But who was your
Yeah.
other team?
Can I finish my Buccaneers plan? So let's get
We've
some
been talking
corners.
about it for fucking like 2 hours already, dude. Like they got rocked. Like it's cool.
You don't know what rocked is.
It's over.
Shut your mouth and let me finish my point on the Bucks. So
We talked about him in the opening. Now we're talking about him again. But go ahead.
but we get to talk about the Cowboys all season, and we don't say anything, and we just let it happen, right?
No, we actually haven't. Abe
Actually,
really
yes,
didn't
we've
talk
talked about
a
them
lot.
plenty.
No,
So if
no,
I
he
want to talk
didn't.
about the Bucks for a little bit more longer, that's okay because they were actually relevant this season.
You're biased, and it's your team. Go ahead, though.
Biased, but yet I called them out for what they did wrong in the playoffs. Something that you can't even do like for a little bit. Ugh, piss me off.
Go ahead, Robert.
Piss me off. All right, so for my Buccaneers, sorry about that, audience. Just sometimes I need to put my co-host in his place. So the Buccaneers, they need help on the back end. Those corners were getting like just completely, to use Jake's word, they were getting smashed and getting all over the place. Couldn't make any stops. So definitely pick up some corners there. Maybe there's something in the draft, maybe not. Definitely need more veteran presence on that defense. I think. Not sure what Levante David's going to do this offseason. Might retire, might not. I know they brought back Shaq Barrett, but I don't know how long of a deal that is. So maybe go out and get like somebody like Khalil Mack. He's going to be a free agent for the Chargers. Although if I'm the Chargers, I wouldn't want to let him go. He was pretty solid this season for them. But if we can get somebody like that, a veteran presence on there, and then you're good. Like you just need a couple of more. You don't need like the best corner or the best safety. You just need like just sustainable, just manageable guys that can make stops when you need to because you have a great offense that can score a lot of points. The numbers don't fucking lie. And there was a stat that came out. Baker has the best quarterback rating in the playoffs ever for any quarterback, including Jake's precious Mahomes. But for a guy that loves to spew facts, he won't listen to the ones that, that he listens to the ones he wants to listen
Because like
to.
you tell me, when Dak has the stats, you don't give a damn about their 12-5 record. You don't care about when Dak has good stats. But now all of a sudden,
Yeah,
because
because most
Baker
of that
had good
isn't
stats one season,
Jake.
but
Most
gets
of
off
that
the
isn't
first round
Jake.
playoff,
Most of
it
that,
matters
mate.
now, Robert.
No, because
Nah,
most of his stats come in garbage time when they're losing.
it's
Baker's
cool.
doing that
It's
and
cool.
leading teams to victory.
I'll let you say all this nonsense, but go ahead. It's the same
Is it
comparison.
nonsense?
Yeah, it is. Because it's the same comparison to Dak. Baker has done jack
I love how
shit,
you're
and
trying to
Dak has done jack
compare. You're
shit.
trying to compare Dak Prescott to Baker Mayfield is laughable in
Dak's stats
2025.
over the years are better than Baker's. That's fact.
Well, Baker's.
So
I mean, freaking Dak's played like 8 years. Baker hasn't
it's
been
like
in the league
almost
as
10
long
years.
as Dak.
Almost 10 years. Dak's
Huh?
almost 10 years, I think. It'll be 10 years next year, I think.
And what does he have to show for it? He has the same amount of
Uh,
playoff wins as Baker, who's been in the league less.
Not a damn thing.
Not
Shit.
much less, but a little less.
Not
Yeah.
much less, but accomplished just as much. You're just a homer. You gotta wipe your nose. Make me sick. All right, let's move on to my next team. Because the Buccaneers don't need to fix too much. For the Vikings. So I would franchise tag Sam Darnold, give JJ McCarthy the reins. And then if he ends up doing good, you at the trade deadline, you can trade Sam Darnold. Because you sure as hell know that some quarterbacks are going to go down for certain teams. It's a long
That would be a
season.
stupid move.
Huh?
Stupid move. That would be a stupid move on the Vikings then if they get rid of Darnold.
How if JJ McCarthy ends up being a hit?
Because once again, he got him to what, a 15-2 record or whatever the fuck it is, whatever it was. And sure, you get bounced the first round, but it's like you can't, like you were saying earlier, you shouldn't give up on that quarterback.
So he's quick to save Sam Darnold, but already shits on Baker because they had a great season, then bounced out, and
What
just
was
says they're
Tampa's
nothing.
overall record? Hold on. What was Tampa's overall record for the season, Abe?
I think they were 10-7.
10-7.
Okay. And Vikings?
14-3.
Yeah,
Okay. So that's a little bit better.
a little bit, but still the same thing. Like, you know, he had a great year. You'll save him, but then shit on Baker because it's the Bucs and because I like them. That's why.
No.
I mean, just say what it is. Like, but anyways, yes.
That's not what it is.
JJ McCarthy's a hit. Why wouldn't you get some more assets and maybe help build for JJ? Because remember, you're not going to be paying him anything for like 5 years because you got to. Yeah, he's a rookie quarterback, and you're going to have all that money. I would use it to re-sign Aaron Jones because you want to keep that run game strong. You don't want to let him go. And a rookie quarterback's always got a good back, except for maybe Jaden Daniels because he is the running game. But you want the rookie quarterback to have a good running back. So re-signing Aaron Jones would be a priority there. If Brian Flores doesn't get hired, you for sure want to keep him there in Minnesota as a DC. He's done a pretty good job. I mean, you can make some upgrades there on the defensive side of the ball, but I mean, I would probably try to maybe get, I don't know, maybe help on the O-line, you know, because like you said, Darnold was seeing ghosts a little bit, so the protection wasn't there for a while.
I got to say, I think that.
So
go ahead.
You think they go after? I think they should get Stanley from Baltimore. He's going to be a free agent.
Okay, that's a possibility.
That would be good.
I was going to say, I think the Vikings were the best looking team going into this round of the playoffs, and for them to fail as bad as they did and got smashed.
But the expectations weren't high though. Like for anybody to bet that Minnesota was going to have that 14-3 record, nobody expected Darnold. Like honestly, if you asked me in the beginning of the season when Robert was like, "Oh, that's my surprise team," and I was like, Darnold's a fucking joke. Like looking at him when he played in New York and all that. So I was like, well, shit, this is going to be a shit show. Like, you know, and then it turns out being something different. But
no, but what I'm trying to say is that everybody here, we thought they would have at least made it past the first round easily.
I mean, anything can happen in the playoffs. Jake, the only teams that have those expectations right now for me are Buffalo, Baltimore, and probably Detroit, even though Detroit hasn't really been there. But those are the only three teams where if they had lost this weekend, we can be like, that's a massive disappointment because those teams have like been ready to get to that next level, and then for them to just fall short.
Lost to the Rams, which you guys, nobody picked the Rams to win except for me, I believe. I think I'm the only one
right, but also like I didn't pick them because I didn't think they weren't good. I just think I thought they were maybe a little too old. Puka and Cooper are like one injury away. If one of those players goes down, that team's not the same. So I mean, that's the only reason why I didn't go with the Rams, but I'm not saying they're not a nothing team.
Um, I want to counter your quarterback carousel there in Minnesota. I think JJ gets traded for some capital. I think they franchise Darnold, and I think they get a deal done maybe later on.
Oof.
They keep Daniel Jones because they traded him, traded or they signed him for a reason. Like they just wouldn't sign him and then release him. So I think they keep Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Mullins, I think they go away with him. I think they're going to stick with Darnold and then Daniel Jones. I think they trade JJ um, for some draft. I want to think that because Darnold's only 27, Daniel Jones is only 27, so these guys are still pretty young.
Mm.
So that's what I'm thinking. That's what could happen, and I could be wrong. I think maybe somebody might, they could do like a sign and trade with Darnold. Maybe get maybe the Vikings can get something out of it as well, like a draft pick instead of
Yeah.
losing him and not getting anything. So I mean, it could go either way. But you're right, though. We just don't know what we're gonna get for JJ. Like he might be your Bo Nix, or he could be your Jaden Daniel. We just don't know. So
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
I think it could go either way for the quarterback.
yeah,
I mean, and either way you franchise them, just because you
right,
don't know. But like I'm
yeah,
saying, if JJ's a hit and he's like, if you got the Vikings right back in the same position, how do you not trade Darnold and try to get something for him? Like I
yeah.
tell you,
Then you would
somebody at some point next season in the halfway point is gonna need a quarterback. So that's what I think of
definitely,
it.
definitely.
All right, that'll wrap it up for this segment. I know we went a little too long on that one, but that's on me because Doofus over there wanted to just really,
No, that's because the
you
Bucks
wanted
is
to
just
stir
a
the pot
topic.
and you got the job done.
Nah, no,
Um,
I'm
all
not
right,
trying to get you back.
next topic. Mike Vrabel is in as the Patriots coach. Woohoo! I just want to get everyone's quick thoughts on this coaching hires. Is it too soon of a change already? Jake, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll go first to make it very short and simple. Like you guys have been just,
You're like, who's Mike Vrabel?
No, for you guys, I mean, you guys are just glamorizing him right
Isn't
now.
he on
He's
the
an
Chiefs?
expatriate. Hang on a second. I'll make it quick. Expatriate, cool Robert. He
Mm-hmm.
knows the Patriots system.
You know he was a coach
Bring,
already, right?
brings coaching and player experience.
You know he was a
Great
coach,
move
right?
for him.
And you know he changed the culture, right, in Tennessee.
Yeah, I
He's
know
gonna
that
be
he
like, I
was
thought that was
Tennessee
Teddy
coach.
Bruschi.
No, no, no. Yeah, I know
he got them to the AFC Championship game, right? The Tennessee Titans.
with Mariota, right?
Yeah, you know that?
Yeah, how would I know that if
Okay.
I just said that?
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, you're making
Okay.
it sound like Mike Vrabel's nothing.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that you guys are
You said
just, I know you are
glamorizing.
high on them. No, you're high on your Patriots, and I know that you wanted Vrabel, so that's cool. You got what you wanted.
I mean, you would mark
And
out if freaking Marvin Lewis went to the Cowboys, so I don't want to hear it.
I would more, if Deion Sanders or Witten, Abelson or Witten
Such a
earlier.
mark. Such a mark.
Oh my gosh.
I like how you can say that about me, but if we say that about you, it's like, oh, like, what are you talking about? Like, there's no problem with that.
Now, those are not my first coaching. What do you call it? Choices for the Cowboys coaching carousel. We're going to get into in a little bit, but
You just said Witten like that. Why would he be? Why would his
What?
name
Yeah.
come out of your
Why would that be a
mouth?
good choice?
we'll
Anyway,
get to all
can
that
we
later.
wait?
Just because he
Let's
played
finish.
there.
Let's
That's
finish
one
with
reason.
But at least
this.
for the Vrabel, we can at least make this point: is that Vrabel has coaching experience outside of the Patriots organization. So for you to say like, "Oh, you're glamorizing because he was a Patriot," I'm not even thinking of that. I'm thinking of what he did in Tennessee. I'm thinking about what he did for like culture wise.
Yeah, he did good in Tennessee. I think
I'm not saying he's a bad coach or he's not going to be good for them. I don't know
no.
what you're
Shut your
saying.
mouth, Jake. Shut your
I don't know
damn
what
dirty
you're
mouth. I think this was great. This is good. This is going to
Yeah, it's
be
a good pickup.
this was a good setup because he has Drake May. He's got Drake May,
Young players.
who is a Tom Brady-esque a little bit in him, and then he's got $124 million to play with, and they've got draft. They got the number 4 pick. So this was a great opportunity. This was the best position for him to go to, Vrabel. And I think Vrabel waited because I think he knew Gerard Mayo was going to get the fuck out or get canned. And Vrabel said, "Hell yes, this was the most enticing job other than the Vegas one."
Super early, bold 2026 prediction: Drake May versus Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs next year. Book it. It's happening.
He'll get them to the first round of the playoffs, and they'll
Oh
get
my
bounced.
Book it.
That's my
fucking
prediction.
gosh,
Book it.
That's my
Drake
prediction.
May versus Patrick Mahomes.
Robert! If
Vrabel would get
if
y'all's
if the
little
Pats
Patriots to the
if the
fucking
Pats go
playoffs.
and
That's
sign
about it.
if the Pats sign T Higgins, yeah,
They better. I'll tell you one thing for the Patriots though. They better spend in free agency because they have the most cap space. So they have no excuse to not go get players for this quarterback. So I have high expectations. So, all right, let's
And they're
get off the
nothing but
page.
young. They're Robert. They're nothing but young guys too, right? I mean, it's just a young team.
it's a young team.
Young team, but they need more skill players. All right. So sticking on the coaching position, folks, is the Cowboys coach actually a good job based on what they have personnel wise? I'll start with you, Abe. And I don't want to hear about hypotheticals. I want to talk about tomorrow a coach goes in there to interview. Is it actually a good job
Yes,
to take over?
it is a good job. Let me tell you this why. If you're Deion Sanders, they both have respect for each other, him and Jerry Jones. So
Right.
I think Deion goes in there, and I think Deion tells him, "Hey, Jerry, trust me. Let me run the team the way that I want to run it. Let me run it. Let me do it. Let me bring the discipline because Dallas lacks discipline. Deion will bring that discipline.
Mm-hmm.
He's already got a ready-made offense. He's got that defense. I think he goes and I think they bring in Salah as a defensive coordinator. I think they let Zimmer go. I think Deion's going to bring his people in as far as like an offensive coordinator. I honestly think that they're going to get rid of Dak. They'll trade him, and they're going to make some moves. I think Deion's going to do this. So
Right, but I asked you, is this a good coaching job
it
with
is.
with the personnel they have? Not
It
with all
is.
those things you just said about getting rid of Dak, but I'm talking
We're
with
not
Dak
just
as
saying
the
that because
I'm
remarks.
talking with Dak as
It
the
is.
quarterback and with the roster that it is right now.
It is. With Deion, yes, it is.
Okay, but forget your whole trading for Dak. I'm talking just taking the job as is.
Take it. It is.
Okay, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't it be? It's not like they're going to coach the fucking Browns or some team that's
So
god
you're
awful.
telling me
Robert,
Ben
the
Johnson
Jets.
goes in there? Tell me why Ben Johnson should go want this job.
I'm not
Jake, Ben
familiar with
Johnson
Ben
is the
Johnson.
offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions, just FYI, in case you didn't know.
Okay, I think no, I might have saw that on
He's
Instagram or
did you
something.
say Jimmy Johnson?
I know he's high up for Abe, right? Abe. I mean, this
Okay, so
guy.
tell me why it's a good job based on what is there right now. Meddling
Okay, so
owner. You have a mid roster because you're paying your quarterback so much money. Tell me why it's a good job.
mid roster, I'll give you that. Mid roster defense is looking a little iffy. Depending on who the quarterback is. I mean, if Dak stays quarterback,
Okay,
I mean,
again,
that's still,
as is. I keep telling you all, it's as is. You're getting the roster as it is. Tell me if that's a good job.
again, yes.
Not doing any moves or anything. I'm
Yes,
just saying,
because
Jake, you go and interview for the
what you're
Cowboys
failing to
tomorrow.
understand, Robert, is that whoever the head coach is, they're going to bring something to the table. The players are already there, like you said.
Okay.
We don't got to worry about them. It's whoever the
I know, but you
head
kept
coach
saying,
is.
"Oh, if Dak's the quarterback." No, I'm telling you, you're going to be your quarterback. That's your roster. What you have, what you saw in the 2024 season. Tell me if that's a good job.
Again, they're not the Browns or the Jets, so yes, it's a good job. I mean, we're America's fucking team. The Cowboys. I mean, come
So
on,
based
man.
on reputation, okay, it's not based on roster, it's based on rep. Is that what you're telling me?
I'm gonna be honest. The roster's not the greatest it's been ever, but
So
it's
you
still
wouldn't
not
want to take on the
terrible.
Jets? The Jets got a decent roster, great receiver, great defense, young players that are up and coming. No,
No, because the organization's not as it's not as layered as the Cowboys. The Jets are dysfunctional way more
so
than
are
the
the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Jerry Meadows, you have that going
Yeah,
too.
but not as bad. Not as bad. The
Okay.
Jets are terrible, man. I mean, if Aaron stays there, you got that whole thing going down. Uh, you got the young players turning against Aaron. I mean, there's just
Wait,
it's
why
not.
would the
It's you're
Browns be
making it.
why would the Browns be a bad job? Now they have the chance to get a Shadur Sanders because you don't know what quarterback's going to be on your roster because sky's the limit now because Deshaun got hurt.
They're still a bad team, though. I mean, overall.
Miles Garrett on the defensive side. You got a couple of weapons on the offense. I don't think it's as bad as you think.
Again, you take away Dak's injury, 17 games. He goes out in the fifth game, I think it was, six. Still a long season ahead. It could have turned around. I'm just going hypothetically here, but yeah, they could have still
Well,
made
we're
the
not
playoffs.
talking hypothetically here. We're
We don't
talking
know.
as is.
Again, but you're trying to make the Cowboys organization and the players you're trying to take them down to a fucking Panthers, a Browns, a Jets. We're more talented than that. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a mark. That's fucking fact.
I mean,
But
it's an
let me get
opinion,
on
but
real quick here. So the possible coaches, I'll just list them real quick.
No,
Kellen
no,
Moore.
no, 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 no.
What?
No. I'll say my top 5 because yours are fucking.
No. I'm not saying I'm not saying top 5 or anything. I'm just saying these are the possible coaches list, and then you can sound off. Kellen Moore, Mike Zimmer, Jason Wynn, Deion Sanders, Ron Rivera, Cliff Kingsbury. Outside
the only ones who would take that job would be Kellen Moore because that's his only shot to be a head coach. Ron Rivera because he wants to stay relevant. If I'm Cliff Kingsbury, why would I want to leave Washington right now? They're about to get red hot. Even if they lose this weekend, I'm talking about the future. Like they got cap space too. You got Tyreek Hill out there. Maybe he wants to go play for a team that's young and ready to go. So if I'm Cliff Kingsbury, if I'm Ben Johnson, I don't see the Cowboys as an enticing job. How?
Who do you think, Abe, out of those has the strongest chance?
Possibly Aaron Glenn. I see Aaron Glenn. Mike Tomlin is a long shot.
Long shot.
Deion Sanders. Belichick is.
I think Deion is probably
Deion would go there for the spectacle. That's all. It would turn into a show.
I think Belichick would be an interesting move. I would like that very much.
Steve Sarkisian or
no,
whatever.
Sarkisian. He's staying in Texas. He's not going to go and leave Texas. He's
an outside the box candidate.
He's not going to leave Texas. No.
But would you want him?
No.
Nah. Okay.
No, because he too kind of has plays like the Cowboys, like the Longhorns played like the Cowboys this season. So no, I don't want Sarkisian right now. He's not proven yet. I'm going to take Belichick, but if the Cowboys, I promise you guys, if the Cowboys sign Kellen Moore as the fucking head coach, or Ron Rivera, or Jason Witten,
it's gonna be Deion.
I'm boycotting them, but I'm going for the Raiders.
Anybody that is relevant would not want this Cowboys job. The people that want it are the only people that are desperate for it, or Deion Sanders,
not desperate.
He can make a show out of it. Huh?
Yeah,
Deion's not desperate.
Can I say my thing? I said they're either desperate or they're Deion who can make a show out of it.
Okay,
that's what it would be.
So if Belichick, let's just say if Belichick gets it, he's desperate.
Belichick would not want Belichick is going to want to go. He's going to want to go somewhere where they have the quarterback.
Don't go based off of what you think. This is now. Like if they get,
I am going. You think I want to go there if Dak Prescott's the quarterback?
Okay, it doesn't. But he's Belichick, right? He's the guru. He's the genius.
Yeah, but he's going to want a quarterback. You know what he's paying attention to? The
gosh.
Buffalo Bills or the Philadelphia Eagles if they get bounced.
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
You're telling me with Dak Prescott, Bill Belichick would want to go there.
If anything, he'll go to the Raiders.
Huh?
If anything, he'll go to the Raiders.
Who?
Belichick.
Okay, yeah, because of the Tom Brady connection, but not. Right. He's not going to go to Dallas.
What's the only thing keeping Deion out? I mean, Shador, right? Not coming to the Cowboys.
No, it's not that. It's because he has his program going in Colorado. Like he's implemented stuff there. Like he's got them in straight line. He's got discipline there in Colorado.
If you think it was a circus at Colorado, it's going to be an even bigger circus if he goes to the Cowboys.
No, that's what you want to happen.
That's what will happen. You guys will be formidable, and you guys will be mid to okay.
Listen,
And
let
you,
me
I'm
Scared,
telling you,
Robert
the
scared
story
Dion.
writes itself, and it'd be
Scared.
hilarious.
let me tell you what. Like, Bill, I mean, Belichick's not going to happen. Tomlin's definitely not going to happen. Ben Johnson's not going to happen.
No,
Deion Sanders is not going to happen. I think
I
Deion
think
Sanders is. I think
that's what's
shut your
gonna
mouth
happen.
and let me fucking
I
talk,
think
gosh
that's
damn
what's
it.
gonna happen.
all right,
Deion
finish.
Sanders is gonna. Deion Sanders is flirting with it right now, but I think Deion Sanders kind of just gets cold feet and stays in Colorado. My thing is, I bet you it's Aaron Glenn
Ugh.
or it's Kellen Moore or Jason Witten, and that's fucking shit. That's a shit. That's just bad, and I think it's gonna be one of
Hey,
those,
Hey, but
or
it's
it
okay
could
because
be.
Jake says you all have Dak Prescott. It's okay.
Oh my
no, 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 hold on, hold
fucking
on,
gosh, that would.
hold on. Abe, I got a question. So, if Dion doesn't take this offer now, when Jerry's putting on a platter for him because he wants to stay in Colorado and make his team even better and all that shit, does the opportunity come around again?
No,
No,
no.
So then that's why I'm saying I think he will take it.
you want it. You
But
want
did
that
you?
circus.
But
I
did
do
you
want
hear
it.
what I just said? There's been a lot of people, analysts, saying that he has it good at Colorado. Like he's not. They don't see him leaving Boulder. I think he's just flirting with this right now, and then he's just going to stick with Colorado with the
But
program.
true.
It's
But
perfect for
Dion
his.
has the
It's perfect
opportunity.
for his. It's perfect for his brand because he gets to stay in the spotlight until
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
college time, and then he goes on and does his thing. So he
yeah.
gets to stay in the news cycle for the whole year, basically.
Shador is going to go, and I bet you were pounding your chest, Jake, last night when you saw Shador at the Dallas Mavericks game, and you're thinking, oh, he's going to go to the Cowboys because his dad's going to coach, and I know
It
you were
can't
fucking
happen
there.
though. It can't
I,
happen,
I,
right?
no, it can't. It's impossible. Let me tell you why. Because there's no one that's going to take on Dak. Someone would have to be stupid enough,
Well, Robert
which would be
said get rid of
Tennessee.
Micah.
Yeah, but they're not. Did you see the trade proposal? They didn't mention Micah on there. They're not going to throw Micah on there. It's going to be Dak. Like it's either you're going to get Dak, and you're going to give us your pick or nothing. And Tennessee's going to be like, fuck you, we can get Shador or Cam Ward.
Yeah.
So that's not. Be realistic, Jake. Come on, man. Like you just think, oh man, like it's a possibility that we can get Shador. Said no, man, no.
Well, the fact that Jerry and Dion have such a close relationship, babe, and then
That
that they've
doesn't
been
matter
brother.
though. That
No, no, no.
doesn't matter though. Like
I know,
if
but I'm just
that's like
saying.
that's like me and Robert having a good relationship, and then Robert tells me, "Hey, come coach over here, or come be a
Or one of
defensive
us for a
coordinator,
job
or
offer.
come bring
Yeah,
come bring your Tampa 2 defense over here." I'd be like, "Yeah,
we're
let
gonna
me let me
say
think
yeah.
about it." But if I'm somewhere already established and I have that program on their feet leveled, you think it's hard to just say, "Okay, yeah, let me go with you because you're my buddy and I know you and we have a good relationship." No, I got to think of
Oh, and
Real quick,
Dak,
other
because
and Dak
I
things.
and
don't
Dak
watch.
Prescott's your quarterback. You'd be like,
Real
nah,
quick,
fuck it.
I don't watch college football that much. But how far did Colorado win their fucking championship or all these
Doesn't matter.
stupid sugar
It doesn't matter.
bowls
They
and
got they
bowls and
got they
all this
got
dumb
blown out
shit?
by Sam Houston, but that doesn't.
There
That's
you go.
irrelevant.
So
That's
that's what I'm
irrelevant
trying to
though.
get at.
But let me.
That's what
Oh
I'm
my
trying to get at.
fucking gosh,
No,
dude! You
hold on.
fucking let me
Hold
fucking
on, hold on.
talk, dude.
So Dion got the team, everything's cool and everything, but we can't get him to that fucking Colorado Bowl or whatever the
It
fuck they
it
call it,
it
because there's so many.
it doesn't matter because in college it's different. It's a different atmosphere. It's a different world versus
Yeah,
the
the players are
pro.
not as good.
Because in college, if you go and lose a bowl game, you're not worried about getting fired because you actually took that program that was a nothing into a something. So you're getting you're getting good recruits
No,
like
and I feel you.
receivers.
I
You're
understand
getting
all that.
five-star receivers. You're getting a three-star quarterback. You're getting different people. You get people in the portal transfer that want to go play in Colorado because of Deion Sanders. That's why it's a lot
Okay,
different in the college world than in the pro world. Fucking listen to me. Shit,
I
dude.
am listening. I
Okay,
am.
well, Dion. Okay, well, I'm telling you, Deion Sanders and all these coaches. Why do you think some of these NFL coaches go back to the college world? Because look at Saban. Saban was at LSU, came out, went to the Dolphins, got fucking destroyed, went back and went over to Alabama. Look what how that program was for years. That Alabama was number one, and they won the national title. So it's a lot different in the college than it is in the pros. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Dion is flirting right now, and if he
Yeah,
does make the jump and takes the chance, then shit, okay, good.
yeah,
But he's got it made in Boulder right now, so
I know.
it's gonna be hard for him to just say, "Let me get up and go."
I'm not, well, not really, because again, I mean, it's Jerry. He has that. He was an ex-cowboy, bro.
Okay,
I
but
mean, it's all of them.
that doesn't
But that
equal
doesn't
like
mean shit.
that doesn't equal like, oh yeah, we're in the NFC Championship now. Like no, like there's a
Doesn't.
lot of factors.
Dion's got a lot of work to do if he takes this Cowboys job because it's not just something where I can sign and then we're at the OTAs and shit. We're looking good because this team is dysfunctional. They're fucked. Like they are just bad all around.
No, but I think
And
this is the major need. This is the major
I understand
change.
that this is what the major need is, but at the same time, you have to think what's best. You
And
know,
you're not just gonna all of a sudden turn into the and have like a Minnesota Vikings
yeah,
season,
no, hell no, you're not.
14 and something. Like get out of here.
No,
You're really delusional if you think that's gonna
yeah.
No,
happen.
I'm not because again, CD and Dak ain't no scrub, and there's
Yeah,
just
but
all this.
that's
You
you
can
need
say
more than
that.
that,
But
Jake.
oh
And
man,
all I mean,
dude,
also you need a better quarterback. But I'm just saying
yeah, we
No,
do
you.
need
I
a
mean,
better.
but you're making the argument for your fucking Patriots that with Vrabel coming in now, and I'm saying maybe they
Yeah,
will make the playoffs.
Vrabel's established though. Look what he did in Tennessee. Look
But
at
Deion,
Tannehill. Tannehill was a fucking nothing in Miami. They dropped his ass. He goes to Tennessee with Vrabel under his system, and Tannehill was was superb. He was great for a couple of years. You
and
know?
at this point, I don't care what Jake says. Drake May is better than Dak Prescott.
Oh hell yeah!
I don't
Like he's
give
got
a
a
damn
big.
what you
He
say.
hasn't
That's an
even reached
opinion.
his ceiling yet. We've seen the best of Dak, and we've seen what he is.
That's not a fact. That's not a fact. But that's
That
an
is a
opinion.
fact.
Daniel
That's
Jones on the
your opinion.
sidelines was better than
And all
Dak
Jake has
Prescott.
is stats.
Nah. All
I'm
right. Well,
seeing with
we'll
my
see what happens
eyes.
this coming year. And no Jekyll or Hyde for you, Abe. If
I'm
Deion
being
comes in,
realist, man. Like you have CD Lamb as number one on your receivers list. Like the fuck?
That and he has Dion, and then we're in the Super Bowl already. Like
I didn't. Now you're
because
just
we
making
got
up
Dak
shit.
and CD, and they ain't no scrubs. Well, they also ain't enough
Well,
either.
Dak isn't.
Yeah, but they ain't enough. That ain't enough.
That's not
We need.
enough.
Of course, we got to make moves. Running back.
We don't have money.
You
We
don't
don't
have
have
money.
money.
Exactly. You don't have the money because you're paying the quarterback. That's what you don't get, Jake. Like you're like,
He
yeah,
already
pay Dak.
said he.
Dak's
He already
worth the
said.
money.
He already
He's not
said
gonna
he
re-
would restructure.
he's not going to restructure.
Yeah,
You
he's
think
not
he's
going
going
to
to restructure and
restructure.
take 30 million? You think he's going to be
Hell
like, yeah, I'll take
no.
30 million?
Hell no.
He just had a baby. You fuck. They just demolished his
He said
house. He built a
he
new
would
one.
restructure.
Gosh damn, dude. You think he's going to be like, yeah, let me take like $70 million less. Let me take $40 million less. No, the hell.
We'll see what
God,
happens.
can't wait to fucking get on your ass on season 3, man. Like
Real,
shit, I'm
real,
already
real,
ready for
All
real
season
right.
quick
2.
though. Real quick, Abe. If we don't get Dion, who do you think honestly lands this job?
I just said
Kellen
Kellen Moore,
Moore.
Kellen Moore, Jason Witten,
No, I don't want like multiples. Just like who's
Kellen
the
Moore.
one?
Kellen Moore,
Kellen Moore.
Kellen Moore,
Is
and then
that
I'm
who
gonna
you
be put,
want?
and then I'm gonna put on a Raiders cap because I'm not fucking doing that shit. Hell no, no.
All right, no Jekyll or Hyde. Here, folks. Now,
They're not
I
going to be
just
good.
I just said if the Cowboys fucking bring back McCarthy or get any of those guys, I'm boycotting them. I'm not doing that shit.
even if we do good, got it.
No, you're not doing good.
No, we're not doing good because Dak Prescott. Robert, hold on, Robert, real quick. I know we're going too long on this,
Yeah, hurry up.
but Dak Prescott, he was getting rattled, dude. He got fucking blown out when he was healthy. The first 3 games. Am I right,
We're
Robert?
not
Come
talking.
on.
Got
I'm not
blown out
talking
by
about
the
the regular
Saints.
season. I'm not
Yeah, they
talking
got
about the
blown up by
regular
the
season.
Saints. Yeah, well,
He
you can't say
wasn't even. We
playoffs
weren't
because
even
they weren't
halfway
even in
through it.
it.
I'm not going to talk about this. We weren't even halfway through the season.
Oh my
We
fucking!
weren't even
I'm
halfway
done.
through the
I'm
season.
done.
That's
I'm
hilarious.
done.
All right,
I'm done.
guys. So good stuff on all that. Last thing before we get to the breakdown of the divisional round.
Hold on, Robert.
Update on the Funko bet.
I do got an update on Robert. You and I went 2-4, total opposite,
Terrible weekend for me.
and Jake went 3-3 because he played it safe.
Played it safe, but also doesn't qualify to win the Funko because
We had to go 4-2.
The ruling was you had to win at least 4 matchups, which none of us did. So, what are we doing for divisional round?
So this one will be the same thing. It's a Funko Pop. It's a
Okay,
Funko
so it
Pop
just
challenge.
it just gets promoted to divisional round.
Right, but you got to go 3-1 because there's only 4 games.
Right. Okay. All right.
So you got to go 4-1.
Okay, cool. I'm down for that.
Hold on, Robert. You got to go 4-1, not 3-3 or 2-2 or whatever. 4-1. You got to go 3-1, Jake. 3-1. If Jake said he got 3-3, I get a Funko.
Why can't we just bet by whoever has the most? Is that why
No,
you're
because you
doing
got
it?
to make it interesting. That's why it's a
No,
wager.
what? The
You got to hit
most?
it.
What the?
Because
This
y'all know
isn't
y'all are
fucking
gonna get
NBA
fucked.
fantasy where they just add up points and shit. No, like this is fun. This is challenge. It's called a Funko Pop
Oh,
challenge.
Jaco wins and then fuck it. All right, go ahead.
I said 4-2. I never said
Three
like
and three.
500.
Yeah.
I never said 500. Go ahead, Robert.
All right. So we got that settled for divisional round. Let's get into the actual games going on this weekend. It's gonna be a fun one. Divisional round, the best weekend in football, guys, because there's no more pretenders. These are the actual teams that this is where it gets like really, really good. All right, first up, it's gonna be Saturday and Sunday. Saturday will be the first matchup, 3:30 p.m. depending where you're at. It's gonna be the Houston Texans traveling to face Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Uh, Jake, who do you have in this matchup?
This is
Already
gonna be
know.
a good one. I think the Texans will put up a little bit of a fight, but the Chiefs are gonna be coming off like almost 3 weeks rested. Mahomes is gonna turn into what I call Super Mahomes, along with Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
They'll lead this team with Pacheco probably gonna do really well as well. These guys have just been waiting for this. Um, it's not gonna be a smash. So I'm not gonna say that, Robert. I want it to be.
Do you have a score
Um,
in mind?
do like 28-17.
The other thing before you continue here, if you have anything else, I wanted to give you the point spread for the game. So give me a second here. All right, so Kansas City's favored by 8. I would not take this bet at all. The side here is Houston. That's what I think. It's not my pick, but I'm just saying if you're gambling money, you
Yeah,
should not bet the Chiefs on this. I think it's going to be close. The Chiefs have played it close all season.
right.
You
Who
have
you got,
anything else,
Jaco?
Jake?
Who you got, Jaco?
What's that?
Chiefs? You got
I
Chiefs?
got Chiefs.
No heart. All right, Abe, who do you got?
Shout out to Uncle Ray, man, for his team making it to the divisional
I
round.
know, man. We were,
Um,
I mean, in the clutch, that team.
if the Chiefs having 3 weeks off can either hurt them or help them out, right? Um, but during the whole season, I know it's different in the playoffs, Robert, but during the whole season, Mahomes looked like he had trouble, like he wasn't his normal self. The Texans, they don't have Diggs or they don't have Tank Dell. They got Nico. They
Yeah.
got Nico Collins and your boy Joe Mixon in the back.
Yeah.
So I don't give a shit about the Funko. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with the Texans here. It's been an interesting,
Mm,
it's been a wild playoffs. Some of the teams that we thought that should have won didn't win, and a
definitely.
couple of the underdogs took it. I think the Texans. I know that Stroud is no Burrow, in which I wish the Bengals were in the playoffs. But if it's anybody else, I think Stroud might be able to go toe to toe here, and I think Stroud is younger, and I think he can make that play. I trust him, so I'm going to go with the Texans here.
I'm gonna go with Texans also because I just need this
Just
out of the
wait.
way already. I don't need the stress of Mahomes getting to another AFC championship game and just having to deal like, is he gonna get to the Super Bowl? So Texans, I need big boy football. I need CJ Stroud and
Yeah,
Nico Collins to just tear it up.
Mixon.
They need I need them to go like Brady and Gronk style and just possess the ball with the run game and then just feed it to Nico on those short second and third downs.
Mm-hmm.
Just control the time of possession, keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. Again, that point spread is very Vegas is telling you to pick the Texans here because the Chiefs have played it close all season, and that 8 point line
Yeah,
is just so suspicious. Yeah, I got
What are you
Houston
saying for the score, guys?
27-21 Texans.
Abe
you said 27-21.
Yeah,
Um, I'm going to go.
and Card, Abe.
I'm gonna go 23-20.
Hmm. This game's going to be on ESPN, ABC, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus. I don't know wherever anything that ABC owns there or Disney owns,
Yeah.
it's going to play on. I don't know if the Simpsons are doing another broadcast. Probably not. All right, are we good on this game? Do we feel good
Yeah,
about it?
we're good. Yeah.
All right, it's -8. How Vegas just has no love for the Texans. All right, next up we got the Washington Commanders traveling to face the Detroit Lions. It's going to be Saturday night at 7
Man.
p.m. on Fox. Tom Brady on the call. Detroit is favored by 9.5 points. Abe, I'm going to let you go first. Who do you got in this one?
Man, I like both of them. Um, but the Lions, they got a powerhouse on offense, Robert. So I I think this. I know the Bucks were a good offensive team as well, but the Lions, they do some trick plays from Ben
For sure.
Johnson, and they got Jameer Gibbs. They don't have Montgomery, but they have Jameer Gibbs, and they still got Amon-Ra, and they still got I can't Reynolds, and they still got Laporta. So, and they're playing at home. Detroit is a hard place to play at. It's
Yeah.
loud. Um, damn, I gotta go Lions, Robert.
Nice.
Jake?
Yeah, I'll go. I think this this is probably going to be pretty more competitive than the Houston and Kansas game. I know that for damn sure.
Huh.
Jaden Daniels looking Jaden Daniels looking pretty good, man, against the Bucks. Robert.
Bucks didn't
Yeah,
have a defense, so
That
yeah, I know
Lions
Robert.
defense has been showing up these fat. I know we doubted them down the stretch, saying like, "Oh yeah, you can score on them."
They're injured too.
But the
A
way,
lot of
but
them.
the way they were playing against Minnesota, did you watch that game? Jesus, that defense
Yeah,
was
they
flying all
smoked them.
over the place. I think they're going to rattle Jaden Daniels here.
I think this will be a close one though. But like Abe said, I mean, they're gonna offensively, they're just too overpowered. Goff's the better quarterback in my opinion. Jaden's still a rookie. Goff's already been big, big boy championship, NFC championships before, so
Who?
Detroit will win this. What's that?
What did you say right now?
That Goff's been to the NFC championship
He's
already.
been to the Super Bowl. What are you talking about?
Wait, who
He was
was it
with the
again?
Rams. They lost to my Patriots, but he's been to the Super Bowl. He's not a
Oh yeah,
scrub.
forgot about. Oh no, he's definitely not a scrub, but I forgot about that one for a sec. Yeah.
I'm going to go Lions here, and I know we talked about in the previous game that point spread being ridiculous. This is not because Detroit is that high powered. The defense has definitely stepped up. Definitely changed my opinion on the Lions. I know down the stretch we were like, this might be their apex, and they're just going to go downhill from here. But Dan Campbell's got this team with the right attitude. This is literally probably their only chance because I think they're going to lose Ben Johnson as the coordinator. I think he's going to end up being the coach for the Raiders. There's just been a lot of talk between him and Tom Brady. I think that's going to be the hook for him to get that Raiders job, even though their roster's not the best. But Tom Brady's at the helm now. He's being more involved with Raiders decisions, so I think he's going to end up being the head coach over there. So for the Lions, this is like all in. Like this is your chance. This is probably your only chance because there's other teams in the NFC that are on the up and come. It's not going to be like dominated by them the whole time. So I got the Lions here winning big. I can see like a 34-17 type game.
I was about to ask, do you think it's a smash, Abe? Are you calling smash?
yeah, I am because that offense, and then with them playing in Detroit, I'm gonna go with the 41 to 17.
All right.
I can see that happening too.
Oof.
All right, these will be the
Jake,
game
you
notes.
Jake, you got Lions, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so those are the Saturday games. I'll be off, so I'll get to enjoy these. Those will be two good ones. And then we head to Sunday. First one's going to be on NBC and Peacock at 2:00, or depending where you're at. The Los Angeles Rams traveling to face the Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia favored by 6.5 points. I feel like the Rams are the side here, but what do you say? Oh, actually, and also the weather's supposed to be like really bad there in Philly with snow and all that stuff. So I want you to factor that in. The Rams are an indoor team. Jake, who do you got?
Interesting, and the weather will play a part, Robert. If the Rams lose, I got the Rams though. I think they're coming off. Just, beating Minnesota with that ultimate smash. Minnesota all season wasn't a scrub team. The Rams are looking really good. As long as Stafford doesn't get injured or anything like that and it plays really well, we already know Puka and Cooper, or Cup, will do really well. But of course, we can't forget Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts. Um, they're going to do their part, I think. But I think this is going to be a close game. But I got the Rams.
Interesting. Abe?
I'm gonna go with the Eagles here. Just too much offense with Saquon. The Rams didn't have to deal with that in Minnesota because they had Aaron Jones, but Saquon is, I think, a tad better than Aaron
For
Jones.
sure.
So I'm going to go Saquon. They've got those receivers and A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown didn't even have to do much against the Green Bay game. You saw him reading on the sidelines. They've got Devontae. They got Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert. I think it's too much for the Rams defense to stop, and also the Rams defense had a couple of players get banged up against that Minnesota game. So, I mean, I like Stafford. I was leaning for the Rams, but I think the Eagles have too much of the offense.
Gotcha.
Do you think, real quick, if the Rams win, it's an upset?
Yes. No, I think so.
Robert?
I don't think so, just based on the experience. You got McVay, you got Stafford, you got Cooper Cup. Those guys have been to the top. I'm looking at this solely based on the weather. Matthew Stafford, before he was a Ram, he was a Lion, and he's always been an indoor quarterback. So I think in these elements, it's not going to be good for like his arm. He's older, always injured. You add in cold weather. I think you're going to get a heavy dose of Saquon in this game. A lot of ground and pound. It might be a boring game. It might even be low scoring. Remember that game that the Rams won against the Niners? It was like 13-6 or something like that.
Oh yeah,
it was some cheap score, and there was like bad weather in that game too. So I'm looking at something like that too. The Eagles will survive one more week until we see what eventually happens in the NFC title game. But I got the Eagles here in an ugly one just because of the weather. Saquon will be the deciding factor.
So what do you think, Robert? Like a 14-21?
No, I'm thinking more like 12-6, some weird score. It's going to be low score. That weather is going to be really bad. Like, y'all are underestimating that. That's what it's forecasted for. Like, really bad weather.
I'm going to go like maybe 15-9, only because that one touchdown from the Eagles might be from Saquon running it in.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll go 14-21. Rams.
And you got the Rams. You might have cost yourself the bet there.
Yeah.
All right. And lastly, I think will be hopefully the game of the week. It's going to be on CBS with Tony Romo, Jim Nantz on the call. It's going to be the Baltimore Ravens traveling to face the Buffalo Bills. Baltimore favored by 1 point at Buffalo. Abe, who do you have?
Man,
Better, Abe.
It's been all year, man. It's been ground and pound on this one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with Lamar Jackson, and I'm gonna go with Lamar, and I'm gonna go with I was gonna call him Deuce Staley because he's built like him, but Derrick Henry. Yep. I'm gonna go with that. I gotta go, Robert, because if the Eagles do win, I don't want them going to the Super Bowl, and I believe the Ravens can outrun them. So the Bills, I love Josh Allen, but I think he'll choke.
So you're going with the Ravens. So based on Abe's picks for the AFC title game, he has the Texans and the Ravens.
Yeah.
And for the NFC, he's going to have Detroit and the Eagles.
Yeah, man.
Interesting. Jake, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens. This is kind of what I've been waiting for all year. This is it for Josh Allen. I want him to nut up or shut up.
Wait, how is this it for him but not Lamar?
Because Lamar has Henry in it. Like, they're not going anywhere.
But Josh Allen's been to the AFC Championship. Lamar's never even been there.
Okay, but again,
you can't have a separate standard for one quarterback and then one for another like that. They're both on the same boat. Yeah,
but what's called Allen's had more help. He had
more help.
He had Diggs like in the past. Lamar hasn't had that much, Abe. I don't think he has. Now, now he has Henry, a powerhouse. Again, no, but I know you like Allen, you're biased for him too, but I'm saying
No, I'm
this is a
just.
nut up
Oh
or shut up.
man.
No, hold on. This is nut up or shut up for him.
But what if
And that
Lamar
coach,
loses? What do you think of him?
they're still okay. They're going to be relevant. He has Henry.
But he can't win the big one. You have to give him the same criticism as you would. I'm okay with you giving Josh Allen the criticism. That's fine. I have no problem with that. But you have to hold Lamar to the same standard if he loses on Sunday.
What I'm saying is that there's more as far as Allen, especially with, how he's been playing this year too.
And
I think
Lamar's been
Allen,
playing lights out too. They're both
no,
the top
but
candidates for
no,
MVP.
no. See, that's where I get you. Allen's been playing a little bit better because
Look at their
Henry has
numbers.
had,
Actually, Lamar's numbers are better than Josh Allen's.
look that up later, Abe, and verify that. But
Oh,
I thought
it's
Allen
okay.
had
No,
better
he'll
numbers.
verify it. It's all right.
Uh,
Got you again.
but
Fuck.
but again, I'm gonna go Ravens. I think, like Abe said, 1-2 combo punch. Derrick Henry and Lamar, man, and in Harborough as well. Abe, he loves Harborough.
Harbaugh.
Mhm.
Stop saying it wrong.
Harborough. Yeah, man, they'll win.
All right. So based on Jake's picks for the AFC Championship game, he has the Chiefs and the Ravens. Boring.
Oh,
And then
No.
he has the Lions and the Rams. Interesting game. All right. So my pick for this game, if it ain't gonna be my boy Baker, and the Bucks, the next best story is Josh Allen for me. He's just been phenomenal this year, and I've always liked him. I don't have any problems with him. I think he's a great player. I think this is the year for him. So I see them. They took a big loss earlier against the Ravens. I think they get their win back here at home. Crowd's going to be crazy. I think Lamar or maybe Henry might make like a crucial fumble in this game. And the Bills are going to capitalize, and Josh Allen is going to soar this team and take them. They would actually host the AFC Championship game because based on my picks, the AFC Championship game would be Houston traveling to Buffalo and the Eagles traveling to Detroit. So there you have it for a divisional round.
man.
Are we feeling good about our picks?
Yeah, I think this is going to be.
You want to lock it in?
This will be the most competitive game this weekend.
Ravens Bills, of course.
Yeah.
Like, look at the
So
line.
we're able to alter our picks. We can change them, or
If you want to change your picks right
now,
you better before it gets locked in.
No,
I'm good with mine.
No.
You good with yours, Jake?
Robert does make an interesting
No.
case on the Bills and the Ravens.
Do it, Dave. Do it.
But I'm gonna leave that, and I'm gonna change my Eagles and the Rams, and I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Wow. That weather's gonna be bad, guys. Like, you think the Rams can handle that weather?
Yeah, Robert.
No, but
they were bad in the rain.
Abe
I
saw
didn't think they were gonna be
power
with
of
snow. Huh?
Puka, Cup, and
Jake,
Stafford.
Jake, they could only score 13 points in the rain.
I might eat this, but I'm going to take it. I'm going to leave it. I think I'm good.
Snow
right
is
now.
worse than rain.
I know.
Saquon's going to run all over that team. That defense is too young.
We'll see.
All right. We're locking it in. We're locking in those picks. Abe was the only one here that made a change, went from the Eagles to the Rams. That may win me the Funko.
I don't know, because you picked the Texans, so I don't know. Hey, you know what? Anything.
Hey, if I just lose one, that's okay, because all I have to do is go 4-1.
Again, if the Bills do
hang on, wait,
3-1,
sorry,
Robert. If the Bills do beat the Ravens, this is not a rah-rah moment. They need to pass the Chiefs still, so don't even with Allen. Don't get all hyped about that.
I can get hyped over the win.
Nah.
With the way you hyped up the Ravens, hell yeah, I can.
Nah, stop it.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Josh Allen has a lot to
You think I have to follow your rules or what you say?
No, but you just give too much credit to Allen, man. Like, just
what are you talking about? Without him, that team is nothing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, and that's exactly this last game against Denver. You didn't watch the game, right? That one, you missed that one.
I missed that one.
I was putting in a chat. These little stupid dumpers that Allen's getting away with on 3rd and 2, him running for fucking rushing yards to get the first. That's not happening against the Ravens. That's not
The
happening.
Ravens defense is atrocious. Have you seen them all season?
Doesn't matter, man. That's
What do
not
you
going
mean
to
it does?
happen.
It does matter. You have to look at things in context. You can't just wipe stuff under the rug
Who,
just because you feel like it.
whose defense is worse, the Broncos defense or the Ravens?
The Ravens.
Well,
Well,
we'll see.
mm.
We'll see, Robert. We'll see.
That's all you've got. That's the only thing you've got. You're right. They could absolutely that defense could get
Destroy.
demolished by the Baltimore Ravens, but the Ravens defense could also be scored on, and we know Allen can take over a game. I'm just saying.
I hope they get smashed. I hope Lamar and Henry just smash them, but we'll
I
see.
just hope. Okay, here's the two things for us next week for you and me, Jake. If the Ravens lose, you have to criticize Lamar just as much as you would have Allen if he had lost.
I'll
And
take a
for
look
me,
at it
I'll
depending.
eat crow if the freaking Bills get if they can't produce any offense against the Ravens defense, then I'll eat crow on that all day.
Okay, but the difference is going to be
No.
as well
That's
as
that's what it
hold
is
on.
straight up.
Nah, it depends on how bad the quarterbacks play too.
Of course, doesn't
Yep.
matter. Loss is a loss.
No,
Can't get
see,
over the
that's where
hump.
you're wrong. If Lamar plays really good and they lose over some dumb shit, then that's totally different. Same with Allen. Same with Allen. I'll give you that with Allen.
Right, but it's the same thing. Still not getting to the next level. You can't win the big one. That's the only knock on Lamar. If he gets to a Super Bowl, I'll give him that. If he loses it, whatever. But he has to get there. Like for as great as y'all make him out to be, like he has to get there. Same thing for Allen. He has that same monkey on his back. Like both of them have like so much to gain this weekend, like so much to
Yeah.
lose, like as far as like credibility being in the elite of the elite.
No, I'm with you 100%. I agree with you. I agree with you.
But that's what's at stake. Next episode, if Josh Allen and the Bills win, you have to criticize Lamar just as you would have Allen if he didn't, even if it was a close game. Let's say Allen loses a close one. You can't criticize him the same, right? Because you just said going by your logic, right?
Yeah, it depends on
Okay.
the quarterback play.
Okay. But I'm just going off a base of win loss. But if we're going off your thing, you're not allowed to criticize Josh Allen if he only loses by 3 and he plays awesome, right?
100%.
Okay. But we're gonna go off mine based on W.
Oh,
That's what we're talking about. W.
all right.
So Josh Allen wins. We're putting it on record here on audio. If Josh Allen wins, you have to criticize Lamar for not winning the big one yet again. And again, if Josh Allen cannot produce any offense against this Baltimore Ravens, who I think are pretty bad, I will eat crow on that.
All right.
Remember that, Abe. Remember that because that will lead off the show next week.
Oh
I don't care
man.
who's producing. That will lead off the show.
And if Baltimore smashes the Bills, I mean, poof,
What?
Allen changes, coaching changes. I mean, just hypothetically speaking.
Bill Belichick's phone will be ringing. I'm just saying he'll have the quarterback. He will leave North Carolina to go be with Josh Allen. You kidding me? And
Will it?
and
Let's
Bill
just see.
Belichick fixes the defense. He doesn't have to worry about the offense. He can get like a Joe Schmo forever for the OC. Let Josh Allen run the offense for all I care. Oh, I can't wait for this weekend. The best weekend in football, folks. All right, I've said everything I needed to say for this episode. You
All
want to wrap
right.
us up?
Yeah, I'll wrap us up. Good stuff. Good stuff, Robert, Jake, you guys.
Jake riled me
So
up this week. He had been doing good. I've been laying off him, but he just had to do it this week.
Well, because you would have done it to me if it was the Cowboys getting smashed, what they did against the Packers.
Whatever.
So
I'm just real. I'm
man,
real when it comes to the Cowboys. You just don't like it.
he doesn't like anything.
I
Let me
actually
plug
wanted
in.
the Bucks to prevail, and they fucked it up.
I didn't. All right, we're already over that. So I'm going to plug into socials. You can hit us up at our email at 2 Minute Drive Podcast. That is TWO spelled out podcast. 2 Minute Drive Podcast at Outlook.com. Robert runs the Facebook account at 2 Minute Drive Podcast. He also runs the TikTok
Well, TikTok
account.
might not exist after Sunday. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, shit. Well,
we'll see.
For now, Robert runs it. I run the X account ours is the tag name is at UR Roughness, the letter UR, and then Roughness Podcast. Jake runs the Instagram account at 2 Minute Drive Podcast. You can also listen to this episode on all social platforms: Podbean, Spotify, Apple iTunes, YouTube. Did I miss another one? I feel like I did.
Amazon, Pandora, Google,
Amazon.
Basically anywhere where you can get a podcast, it's on there.
You can give us a listen. Also, LinkedIn. If you're out there in the business world, or just you got a LinkedIn account for some reason, you're bored, or not bored, but you just want to hear something good, hit us up. I know Robert runs. I know he sends out the episode there too, and I try to share it. I know I missed the last couple of ones, but I'll share it again. And yeah, hit us up on LinkedIn as well. But other than that, great show, you guys. Robert, Jake, as always, and then for some exciting football this week in the divisional round.
Hell yeah. 3 more episodes left this season, guys.
Robert, I did make that Facebook post about the Instagram page. I had a couple followers, so thanks, folks, for following the page.
Yeah, I've gone the TikTok page up to I just made 32 followers already, so it's growing slowly, but hopefully like I said, hopefully TikTok doesn't get banned on Sunday, and we can continue that page. For sure. Good stuff. 3 more episodes to go.
3 more episodes to go, folks, for the season 2 podcast. So other than that, for myself, Abraham Trevino, Robert Palace, and Jake Ramirez, this is the 2 Minute Drive podcast. See you next week.
See you next week, folks.
Later, guys.